It's very extreme. The rhetoric, it's to me, this seems like it's just going to get worse. It doesn't seem like it's going to get better because everybody is unhinged. Um, the last point that I'll make, the Naval Academy, some midshipmen that got kicked out of the Naval Academy came back to the academy with a gun, pretending to be, I think, the military police or something like that, wow, knocking on doors, and started shooting up at the Naval Academy. And this was about an hour or two ago. So this is very recent. So people are unhinged. I don't even, at this point, I can't even say that rhetoric is deadly. I just think people are just unhinged. And at this rate, the United States could become a military state where they just have to sit here and just have the police policing everybody because nobody knows how to govern themselves like a goddamn adult.
Well, that's my point exactly. It could start like a chain reaction. Like Ken Burns said, the veneer of civilization, of civilized culture is just but that. It's very thin, and below it you'll find all the rot and all the danger. Basically, every human being below the surface has an animalistic quality of survival, and they're tapping into that animalistic quality with all this fear-mongering and dangerous rhetoric. What are your thoughts, Swine, my brother? Brother Swine.
I just wanted to say some of those people that got fired in the heat of the moment, they're going to be able to sue people out of the ass because that always happens. They in the heat of the moment. Not saying that some people shouldn't be fired for the stuff that they say and should leave, but if you don't have to like somebody. I mean, they're really trying to say that we have to like this guy and feel empathy. No. Why would I want a racist to raise children? I don't want him near children. So his children without him is a good thing. Maybe they'll not have that. I don't want another generation of bitter, dyed-in-the-wool racist spewing stupid things. DEI is only for 4% of black people use DEI, and they were probably all immigrants. I mean, literally, we don't even use it. We can't get past the white women to get anything. We can't get past the men in dresses to get anything. So every talking point that they use is ignorant. Just like that, he also said, if I saw a black pilot on the plane, I'd get off the plane. Really? That shows more bitter, sick in the head ignorance. There's nothing but air in that big ass head. Literally, the Tuskegee Airmen were top flight pilots. In fact, they won all kind of contests, even when white men had the contest where they couldn't use modern equipment. They literally had a contest, and they were not allowed to use modern equipment because they didn't want them to win, and they still won with rickety, outdated equipment. Those men were top flight pilots. We can do anything we want. I don't know why he gets to just say wrong things and never gets challenged. Well, I guess he was challenged that day. Like I said, that was the most entertaining speech he ever made.
Wow.
And to Bonnie's point about the pilots and things, I saw circulating on social media these two Haitian twins. And this is how much foundational Black Americans, we are the epitome of Pan-Africanism because we see Black faces and yes, Black excellence, right? That's just in us, right? To immediately start yelling Black excellence. But with delineation, something told me, go up there and look to see where these boys are from. They're from New Jersey, but they got a Haitian father. And as soon as you Google, Haiti made sure to let it be known that they are the sons of Haitians and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Right. And now, again, nobody's saying, no foundational Black American is trying to take away from their shine. But the point is, Haiti went out of their way. So when people say, oh, those DEI pilots, again, the people that are benefiting from DEI that are melanated 9 times out of 10 is going to be an immigrant, not a foundational Black American. People are just taking a shot at the thought of us. We are the boogeyman.
Another thing before we go on to the next person, he also said Black women were stupid. And again, nobody pushed back. What about us calculating the moon landing? What about us being asked, are their numbers right? Well, I'll go if Catherine's numbers are in and she says it's okay. Why would an astronaut want a group of Black women to check the numbers and to use their numbers if we're stupid? I mean, everything that poured out of that imbecile's mouth was stupid and easily debunked, but it can't be debunked. Just like when you're in a room of people listening about swarthy Europeans being us. It's the same thing. If you're not smart enough to know that that's not us, then there's no way to argue about it. They're not smart enough to get ahead of it. So they just sit there and go, yeah, Black people have never been pilots. Yeah, Black women are idiots. Yeah, Martin Luther King is a terrible person. I mean, they just sit there absorbing it. And obviously he has nothing else to say except to rally ignorant racists together. Why not say something about making America great? You're not going to fucking get rid of Black Americans ever in your life. You're going to get back on your little Ellis Island boat before I go anywhere. You can bet on that. All of these half Italians running around trying to get brownie points. All of these Italians and Jews and all of these other people that have so much to say about Black Americans. You're going to leave before I do. You don't have a history here. You came far after us. And we can see your DNA and see exactly where you came from. But we can't look at our DNA and say we came from one place. We came from here. We're native to here. Our lineage is here. And there would be no here. There would be no here if there wasn't agriculture grown to make here have some kind of money to justify building ports, to justify building trains, to justify building cities. Cotton is king, remember? Well, guess what? Italians didn't grow the cotton. Jews didn't grow the cotton. And all these bobbleheads coming over here of late, they didn't grow anything in this country. They just came over to enjoy the fruits of it and throw the people that made the fruits, literal fruits, under the bus because it was popular to do. I never even really see an actual white person talking. Like I said, do I get to see an actual white person, or is it going to be Laura Loomer or some Nick Fuentes? It's always some person who just drug their ass across the border every time. All kinds of Lebanese people with bleach jobs talking like they are Nordics. These people are not even white if you really want to look at their DNA, and that's why they go so hard. They have to prove that they're white. Meanwhile, we rarely even see a white person. Even when we were listening to Hitler, we weren't even listening to a white person then. That's the part that is mind-boggling. Being misguided over and over again with these people is really something that people need to wake up to.
Right. No doubt. Go ahead, Swan.
All right, appreciate it, man. Shout out to the host, all the hosts. Shout out to all the Black Americans who are feminists or simps or coons, because y'all don't count if you were any of those. And I hope you remain musty, and everything you touch turns to shit, like the inverse of the Midas touch. Now, after I said that, so I've been hearing, about the Charlie Kirk situation. I heard someone say that that was the best shot in Utah since Jordan in 1998. with that last shot over. I forgot the guy's name. I know his last name was Russell, I think. I also heard that Charlie was supposed to check in with the Mormons, and he didn't do that. And sometimes you have problems when you go to Utah and you don't check in with the Mormons. It's like you got to check in when you go to Cali or Chicago. You can't just go to Utah and not check in with the Mormons. So just word to the wise for Myron or any of the other perverted racists who want to go around spewing lies about Black Americans. Also, I would like to say I'm not really upset about what happened to him. And secondly, I don't like how people are out here making these posts like Umar saying violence is never the answer. One second you're a revolutionary. Once then, when shit hits the fan, now you're a pacifist. Now, people say violence isn't the answer. That's not true because sometimes violence is the answer in situations where self-defense, for an example, right? Or the deacons for defense. We was putting foot to ass in the streets during the civil rights movement. Sometimes you do have to get violent to defend yourself from, degenerate Ellis Islanders who come around and try to assault Black Americans. I wish the Black people at that church that Dylan Roof went to, I wish they had, a way to use defensive force against that incel who actually was radicalized because his crush was dating a Black guy. This all goes back to what Francis Cress Wilson said about, their obsession with, the Black man's phallus. Sometimes you do have to get violent to defend yourself. So all violence is not wrong. I don't think, we haven't gotten this far through pacifism. Sometimes we've had to whoop ass when, attack. The Alabama boat brawl, right? In that situation, violence was the answer. That violence was legitimate self-defense. So, when people say violence isn't the answer and I shun all violence, you got to be specific. What are you talking about? Because you don't want to normalize the idea that Black people can't fight back and defend themselves from, degenerate domestic terrorist Neanderthals, right? So we will reserve that right in perpetuity. We wouldn't.
Sorry, I was trying to bring someone up.
See, this is what happened when you date Mexican midgets. You just start muting people when they speak the truth to power. I couldn't control myself. Yeah. It was that dwarf porn I was looking at. Yeah, you're a Costa Rican. That's what I heard. So I'm going to have to do a little more research on you. Oh, what? But, yeah, so I don't know what you got going on. But I'll land there. Thanks for letting me speak.
Right on, brother. What's on your mind, Michi? Michi God, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, Professor?
What's up?
How y'all doing?
What's up?
I'm chill. So I just want to make the point. It's that they hold up, bro. It's interesting that they focusing on us. They need to be focusing on liberal white men with obvious military experience, and not.
You breaking up, I think, brother. Either you or me. Can y'all hear me? It's you.
Yeah, no, I just find it. Hello?
Yeah, you broke up for a minute, man.
Oh, my bad. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I was just saying they need to be looking at liberal white military people, not Black Americans. We have nothing to do with it. It's our prerogative if we're gonna, have any kind of sympathy for that guy or his family or anything like that. And that's up to us. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have any sympathy for any of our martyrs who, laid their lives down voluntarily or involuntarily for for our struggle. So I don't think there's anything, on us to have any love or any sympathy for anybody. But I do find it troubling that, instead of them actually focusing on what would be their real threat, their real threat is another white person. It's the white on white. obviously there are problems that they're having, and Donald Trump got shot by a white dude. This guy got shot by a white dude. We're just dealing with this crime, and it's horrible, and we don't know, like Tariq said, we don't know if this wasn't a fentanyl overdose. It could still be a fentanyl overdose. I'm gonna learn.
Oh Lord. Yeah. Well. All right. Yeah, I said that last night on Tariq's Space. I made it clear that I don't condone violence in any way. And I said that I just want to know where all these hand-holding, members of the Diamond Society that want to get together because America needs each other. Where were they when that church in South Carolina got shot up by Dylan Roof? You never see them when we get shot up. Don't fall for that bullshit.
Professor, what about self-defense?
Self-defense. I'll put it in context.
Isn't self-defense violence, type of violence? Or would you consider that not to be violence?
I find that when you're dealing with bullies, the only way to deal with them is to beat them up.
Yeah, to speak.
I've never had a situation where bullies did not respond to you kicking their ass ever. So I don't really know what to do.
Well,
sometimes they become your best friend. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, Swine brought up a really good point. I had to look at the Oxford Dictionary. Violence is, according to Oxford, quote, behavior involving physical force intended to hurt, damage, or kill somebody or something. So, yeah, I guess self-defense is violence. There are times where violence is justified, and there are times where violence is appropriate. Now, what happened to us is we were given that slave Bible. The religion has done more, organized religion. Now, let me say, I don't believe in a higher power. I know there's a higher power. But these organized religions have done more damage to mankind than anything. You know what I'm saying? And we need to be really careful. We need to re-examine anything spiritual or religious given to us by a white man, because Europeans have no history of getting along with anybody, including themselves. Their history involves violence, cannibalism, rape, destruction, just general.
Black students, we need to know our history.
The black history we're being taught in public schools is repetitive.
As a black high school student, I want to learn more about my history in the school books.
We need to update our books.
As black American students, we deserve an accurate depiction of what history truly is.
I want to see myself in these textbooks.
In the public school system, black history is vague.
Why don't the school books ever talk about the Freedmen's Bureau?
I created the workbook for the African American family. This book helps fill in the gaps that the school books don't. Purchase the workbook for the African American family on OurStoryPublications.com and use the Cash App, $Our Story Publications.